My grandfather was a Muslim priest in the area, so it's pretty much Islam has to be practiced to every level there. So I follow the rules of Islam together with my cousins, my brothers and sisters and relatives, and practice it because we don't have a choice, and that's our religion, and we have to follow it. We have to, as a teenager, you have to be obedient to your parent by following the religion of Islam. I could remember in the month of Ramadan, which is a wonderful month for me, that we fast, we observe the entire Ramadan, the 5 pillars, excepting for the one for the Hajj, because I was too young to go to Hajj at that time. I believe Allah was the greatest God, and everything we need in life comes from Allah, and I think Allah was everything to us and the community, because I had no ideas about religion of another nature like Christianity or so. Islam was everything to me, and I was a proud Muslim. I was proud because I want to be happy, I want to be blending with my family tree, so I don't want to mess that up. So I just not trying to entertain the thoughts of other religion than Islam. And the Quran, I read the Quran, I read the Hadith, and it means so much to me at that time that I was very proud being a Muslim. On my first job, I was working with a Christian man alongside with him, and he always tried to tell me about Christianities and stuff like that. And I used to make fun of him. I was saying, no way, man, Christian is not a true religion, and criticize him and tries to put him down. And I never liked to listen to him because I think he probably trying to sell me something. Until then, it was a vacation time during the month of August. There's some Christian people come into our area, into our village, and they had these tent meeting, Christian meetings. They had a lot of young people like myself. I was young that time too. Came in with puppets and guitars and music, and they had a big tent, and they was singing and having fun. So I was fortunate to sneak in and go into that crowd, which I'm not supposed to be there according to my parents. But I sneak in there, and that for the first time I've been exposed to another religion, the Christianities. I could remember this man was preaching, talking about Jesus for the first time. I heard a story about Jesus, how he healed a blind beggar and blind people, and he do good to people. And I felt a pain in my heart then for this Jesus. But after the crusade, I go home and not recognize. I went back to my home pretending that nothing happened. I couldn't let my parents know I went to this Christian stuff, Christian crusade or whatever you call it. But since then, I always, when I saw Christian people, I always have a second, something tell me that there's something good thing about these people that we should respect. And at work, after this guy witnessing to me and telling me about Jesus, I started to accept some of his tracts and read it. But I read it and just give them back sometimes. Sometimes I take it home and keep it on the shelf and store them up. But I never think of making a commitment for Christ, because I know like that is impossible with me. Because I would be the first one in our family to do something like that, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want to let my family down or disgrace them, because at that time, if you become a Christian, it's like our whole family has lost something, and I will bring disgrace to them, and I will be cut out from the family tree. They will cut the limbs out with me, and I will just drop to the floor. And so I continued to practice Muslim, although I had some ideas that Christianity touched my heart. The story of Jesus touched my heart. I continued to practice Islam. My country was getting hard economically, so it's a trend that most young men at that time try to migrate to other countries. So I migrated to an island called Trinidad to work there. And when I got there, I sent for my wife and she come and joined me here. And we both were practicing Muslim in our former country. Now, we were in this other country now, all by myself, me and her, and this family always seems to be interested in us. And my wife seems to always like them for some reason. And I told my wife, if you see these people coming, please just go in the house, don't stay in the yard, so we could stop and talk to them. And she said, oh, why? She said, I so want to bring them home inside the house. And I said, no, don't do that. So one evening, they was coming down on the evening stroll, and we were out in the yard, and there's no way I could have turned to go inside when I see them. So she go and open the gate and tell them, come inside. And she bring them and serve tea, and I happened to talk to them. This guy by the name of Paul Johnson. I talked to him, and he seems to be a very nice